want you to zoom in on the grass.
Okay, I'm coming up.
Greetings. This is Gary with Let It Be RV. I'm new to this YouTube channel, and so I basically want to spend a little bit of time to introduce me to you. I've been in my RV now for full-time for about 9 months, and I've experienced an awful lot of things. To give you a little brief history of how I got here, I'm 74 years old. I lost my wife about 5 years ago, and about 2.5 years ago I'm sitting in the backyard and I'm kind of twiddling my thumbs a little bit saying, you know, boy, I sure live in a beautiful place, and it looks like got about 2 more days and I can mow the yard. And then it dawned on me, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm 72 years old, I had open heart surgery about a year before, and I know my days are numbered. And so I thought to myself, I said, do I just sit here in the backyard and wait for the grass to grow, because I really like being on my riding lawnmower, so I could get on my riding lawnmower and get out there and mow the yard. But no, I decided that I was going to go in a different direction. I was going to remake myself. I've remade myself 4 times in my life, and I said it's not too late to remake myself. So I decided that what I was going to do is I was going to start traveling. Okay? I was going to start figuring out how I could go see America. But then I had to figure out how I was going to do it. One day my nephew called. He had cancer at 37. He said, Uncle Gary, why don't you come over and see me? And I did. I wanted to go over and pray for him. And after I prayed for him and we talked a little bit, I asked him, I said, Doug, how can I help you? What can I do to help? And he says, well, what you could do is help me sell my RV. And I said, RV? I said, yeah, it's right outside. You probably walked right by it. I didn't even take notice of it. 1991 Warrior, fair to middle shape. And I said, how much you want for it, Doug? And he said, $1,000 bucks. I said, it's done. Consider it done. Okay? Took us a couple months to get the title together and all the money and all that kind of stuff. But all of a sudden, I'm in this RV. I started seeing there's a little mush in the floor. The refrigerator doesn't work. The heater doesn't work. There's a number of things that I had to do, but also I wanted to be able to be off-grid. And I wanted to be able to go off and use the power of the sun to be able to charge my phone, my TV, and all the sundry things that one needs. Well, a year passes. I get my son Joshua to help me install and do and redo some stuff and throw some stuff out, fix the floor, all these kind of things. And I decided that it took us a whole year to do it. I had to keep working weekends basically. So I ended up with 400 watts of solar, 4 big batteries, a carriage battery, a house battery, new mufflers, new tires, new airbags, new shocks, rebuilt portions of the engine. I've got a super rig, and I decided I was going to take off after about a year. My other nephew was at Ragbri. If you don't know what Ragbri is, basically it's where bicyclists get together, and there's about 20,000 of them that get together and bicycle across Iowa. So, man, when it was ready, I took off about 16 days earlier from Whidbey Island, Washington, taking off for Iowa. That's the longest trip I had done. I'd done a couple of California trips and over the mountain passes in Washington, the Cascades a couple of times. And so I decided I'm taking off for Iowa, me and my dog, okay? So I went to Glacier. I went to Yellowstone. I went to Mount St. What's the mountains with the presidents on it? What?
Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. I went to the Black Hills. Love it. Love the Black Hills. Went to the Painted Desert. Went to all kinds of places on my way to Iowa. Spent 2 weeks in Iowa. Fabulous time. Drove back to Washington. Did some more work on my rig. decided I was taking off south to go down to the Van Build. I was going to be that snowbird, go down there and do the Van Build. So I ended up getting down to Arizona just fine. 2 or 3 weeks to the Van Build, met fabulous people, great stories. Ended up going to what's called the Boondockers Bash. That was fabulous also. Went to Arizona. I was in a movie called The Righteous 12. More than fabulous experience. And started heading north back home, ran into the pandemic. Spent a couple of weeks on a dry lake bed off of Las Vegas. And then ended up where I'm at right now, at my sister's in Blackfoot, Idaho. The whole point of this video is I call it an America the Beautiful. I want you to look out over here, and I want you to look at all these green fields. I'm in a farming community, okay? Tomorrow, you see that butte that's way out over there? That's where I'm going to be going tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some video over there too. Some family's going to be taking me over there. But for all this experience, I'm now 74, almost 75 years old. Through all this experience, I'm experiencing America the Beautiful. We've been going through an awful hard time here lately, but America is still a fabulous country. It's a beautiful country. If you haven't had a chance to get out and see America, okay, you don't need an RV. You can just go find your camping bag, your tent or whatever, but get out into nature. Get away from the news. Oh my gosh, get away from the news. And so I just wanted to tell you that, you know, even at age 74, it's not too late to go out there and remake yourself, go out there and find some friends, some family, and have an adventure. You're not too old to not have an adventure. So I want to sign off for now, and I tell you that I really appreciate any subscribers, and if you would subscribe, please hit the subscribe button and that little bell. You'll know every time I post. I don't post often. I post usually when I have a message. So I want to say goodbye. God bless America, and be safe.